The Riddle of Steel is introduced by Conan's father, who tells his son that their god is Crom, who lives in the earth and who had the secret of steel stolen from him by the giants in the darkness of chaos. Humans later found the Riddle of Steel on a battlefield after the war of the gods against the giants. He tells Conan that he must learn the secret of steel and that he can't trust anyone in this world. Not man, not women, not beasts. The only thing he can trust is steel. His father insinuates by this that humans cannot or haven't yet understood the Riddle of Steel, but that since it comes directly from the gods, it is to be trusted more than anything in life. Conan doesn't realize this until he later meets Thal-Sadum again, but his father is wrong about steel, or at least he only knows one part of the truth. We see that he is wrong when Thal-Sadum and his men pillage Conan's village. But before we discuss this any further, take a look at this shot where the scout of the riders is crouching on a big rock. The moment he stands up, the riders emerge from the left and right of this rock. Keep this very image in mind, as I will come back to it later to amaze you with its meaning. When the riders attack, Conan's parents have a short argument which we can't hear. While the mother is concerned about saving her son, the father emerges from the hut, holding the sword in hand that he forged for Conan. And the camera even zooms in a bit, as if to further underline the absolute trust that his father puts in the sword, probably believing that it will protect him and help him to repel the attackers. He is a capable fighter and manages to hold his own for a while, but is ultimately killed. When the dogs attack him, the sword is sent flying from his hand. The father and the sword aren't in the same shot anymore. Instead, we get a shot of the sword being stuck in the snow. He had put all his trust in it, and it has betrayed him. We have been told without words that steel alone is not the answer and that it can't be trusted. If we want to, we could even say that the dogs that killed him were more reliable than the steel. Conan's mother probably survives longer than his father because she did not trust in steel. For her, it is a means to protect her loved ones. Notice how none of Doom's henchmen dare to challenge her, although they outnumber her. The blood on her sword might mean that she is a dangerous fighter, which might also mean that she is one step closer to the solution of the Riddle of Steel than Conan's father. However, she is not capable of resisting Thal-Sadum's will and gets beheaded. Look at how mesmerized even the young Conan is by Doom's presence at that moment. At first, he doesn't even notice that his mother has just been killed. He only realizes it when her grip loosens and her dead body falls to the ground. He is so shocked by it that his arm stays in the air. Notice how in the very next shot his arm encompasses Thal-Sadum as if he is about to hug him. This image foreshadows Thal-Sadum's words at the end of the movie, when he tells Conan that he is his father, because the murder of his people will from now on define Conan's path and motives. This image visualizes Conan embracing that truth, so to speak. He might even embrace a different truth as well, if we reconsider what has just happened here. His parents are dead, meaning in a way that men and women cannot be trusted, because they left him alone in this world. And since Doom's symbol is a snake, we could also say that beasts are not to be trusted either, because dogs and snakes have killed his parents. What is true in this scene, however, is that he has witnessed the power of steel at point blank. So the words of his father must ring very true to him right now. Before we move on, let me show you a very interesting comparison. I recently read that John Milius is a Western fan, and if that is the case, the shot here reminds me very much of the classic Western The Searchers from 1956. The door in both movies symbolizes the threshold between the wilderness and civilization, and in both movies the settlements are burned, the adults killed, one or more children are forced into a life of servitude, the heroes have to rescue a woman who is probably sexually abused. The images of Conan's search for Thal-Sadum resemble those in The Searchers, and the respective music in Conan is even named The Search. And finally, both main characters return holding the woman they rescued in their arms. If you consider yourself a true movie fan, then go and watch The Searchers. It is an all-time great movie and one of the most influential ones in cinema history. The last detail is this shot. The two heads on the spear resemble those of Conan's parents. I'm not sure if it has any special meaning, but if any, it might be this. The Riddle of Steel is about willpower, and the two heads might be a hint towards that answer, because both of them did not have the will to prevail against Thal-Sadum. The head is the seat of one's will, and in this movie, The way to visually express that your will is stronger than that of others is to cut off the head of your opponent.